Hey everyone, today I want to introduce you to our new pitching and throwing coach, Josh Boggs. We recently brought him on. I want to take this opportunity to introduce him to all of you, especially because I've been talking about it for so long. But first, let's go find out a little bit more about Josh. I have a couple questions for him that came from you guys that really relate to what he'll be doing inside our facility and how his training program is different than a lot of ones that we see floating out in our local market. So Josh, first and foremost, tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, let's see. I grew up in the Shenandoah Valley, just south of Winchester, Virginia. Graduated from Bridgewater College in the spring of 2016, and I've spent about the last year or so in Charlotte, North Carolina, working with a travel organization, coaching teams ranging from anywhere from 9U to 18U. So get a full spectrum with me of the ages I've worked with.
Awesome. So let's go ahead and get right to your questions. First off, what are your beliefs on a pitcher's delivery? And because there's a lot of different schools of thoughts out there.
So to me, just based on all the influences I've had and the coaches I've worked with, I preach athleticism. All right, I don't want robots out on the mound that are stiff and they can't adjust and they can't adjust in game. They don't know what's going on. I want athletes. I want guys that have rhythm, that are smooth, that look like athletes that are pitchers and not pitchers that are robots. That's kind of my core value.
Right there with you. How about this? How does training for pitchers change throughout the year?
Well, that's going to depend on their actual schedule. So just to sort of give you a mock here, if most guys will start playing high school ball March 1 around here, so they'll be off doing their high school thing. They may come in and see us once or twice a week, but they're going to be off playing. Most guys will also play summer ball, so we're still in a bit of a maintenance mode. Maybe make a tweak here or there, little things we can do. And then the same for most guys in the fall, although we can ramp up a little bit because most guys tend to play less in the fall. And then I like to, after the fall season, give guys a break, give them a couple weeks off from throwing. They've been playing from March through October. They're not big leaguers, they need a break. And then once that period's over, we hit it hard and we're trying to gain whatever their goals are, we're trying to reach them.
Very good. So to dig a little deeper, what is a basic, what does your structure look like when you, on a daily basis when you work with a pitcher or a thrower?
So to me, it's going to vary a little bit based off that individual and what their goals are. If their goals are command work, they've got the velocity, they're maybe average to above average for their age, but they can't throw the ball over the plate, then that'll be our focus, right? We'll work on that. If they're going into high school and they've got, again, have the velo and command, but they don't have an off-speed pitch, that'll be our development. But for most guys, and just my experiences with talking to college coaches, velo plays and velo matters, right? High school, it all comes down to one guy throwing 88, one guy's throwing 82. More often than not, they're going to take the guy throwing 88. So
absolutely.
More often than not, it's velo.
Absolutely, and that's part of the next question I was going to ask you is, what are your beliefs when it comes to getting a kid recruited or scouted? Because we work with a population that's very determined and they're aspiring to be college or better.
Yeah, so that's actually some work I did a little bit in Charlotte. Before we came down, we had a bunch of guys on our 18U team that just, thought they could walk into any school and play. And so I was like, I have my own personal site and I have a bunch of coaches that I've talked to and said, hey, what's your bare minimum? Just mostly D3, like what's the bare minimum for a good D3 school to maybe get a little bit of, not scholarship money at the D3 level, but get something. And the basic was 83 to 85 with something to go with it. So just set that up for guys to know, here's the bar, right? That's at the D3 level, and not that there's anything wrong with D3 level, there's good D3 baseball, but if you want to play at that level or higher, that's your bare minimum, and that's the sort of standard I'm going to hold guys to.
Yeah, we all want to play at the highest level possible, but at the same time we've all invested or have been given certain abilities to reach those levels. It's not all created equal. So if it's about playing baseball, whatever level, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So the last question we're going to have for you today is, since we're turning ourselves into more of a data-driven facility where we're looking at everything matters, how do you determine whether a pitcher is improving or not?
Again, that goes back to what their goals are. And I think we have some technology things that we can use, but for most guys, it's what's the number say on the radar gun.
Yeah.
But to me, there's also some movement quality that goes into it, where we want to make sure guys are doing it the right way, and that's more your expertise in how the body moves and how we're going to do it and create power the most efficient way. Because there's, you can look at two different pitchers, and one guy's throwing 96 and the other guy's throwing 96. One guy might be doing it in a healthier, more efficient way, and one guy may not. So even if the radar gun doesn't change, there's always movement things we can look at. And then again, if their goals are more command-oriented or off-speed development or pitch development, anything like that, again, it's based upon their goals.
Very good. So that's a little bit of an insight onto what Josh is going to be working with our pitchers on and our throwers on, and really keep an eye out for our Prime Baseball Academy. It's coming up quick. Our hitting and throwing programs are going to be excellent, and we're going to promote a lot of positive changes. Well, I'll see you guys next time. Take care.